What a joy to see our friends and their lovely wives. It is indeed a pleasure and which we have been waiting for almost many months in preparation. Well, you are lovely friends, of course. Comrade, we fondly remember our friends who left us too early. The second one is the transitional journey, where we expect our friends to be here on the stage and tell us about the journey in 3.5 minutes. The lesser the time you take, you'll get a prize for that. But before that, it is very important for all of us to give you a formal welcome. There is a momentous milestone. Reaching a 50th reunion is a rare blend of nostalgia, reflection, and celebration. Of the journey everyone has taken since we passed out of the school. 50 years ago, we left our school with dreams, uncertainties, and a lifetime of opportunities and possibility ahead of us. Today we return not just as a former classmate, but as keeper of a shared history. We have spent 50 years building lives, families, and legacies, and navigated the twists and turns of life. Yet the bond of the class of 76 reunion remains unwavering and unchanged. We celebrate the journey that brought us here and the friendship that has stood the test of time. Welcome home. It is time to dust off the yearbook and get together for the ultimate milestone. No formalities, no pressure, just old friends, great music, and 50 years of catching up. As we look around, we don't just see classmates, we see legends. We see our doctor friends who helped us to have robust health. We see lawyer friends who protected us from the misuse of law against us.
Also protected when you did misuse of law.
We have friends who were policing to keep us away from lawbreakers. We have friends who were merchandising goods in various countries for our life goodness. We have friends in business who made our life comfortable. We have friends in service who keep us safe from enemies guarding our boundaries. We have friends in academia who cared for our next generation and the beginning, and who shaped the end of the last century and the beginning of this century. The reunion is for catching up on the decades we missed, honoring those who are no longer with us, and realizing that no matter how far we have wandered, we will always have a place here. Welcome. Thank you. I begin this session with 4 lines, which I read somewhere and that feels so apt here. No farewell words were spoken. अरे बंगाली
अबे हिंदी में बोलो यार।
वो 4 लाइन बोल देना भैया, रट के आए हैं जरा सा बोलने दो। No farewell words were spoken, no time to say goodbye. You were gone before we knew it. Only God can tell us why. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our session, what you see over here are the friends who left us too early. We now have the pleasure to invite Mr. Samir Shreni to come on the stage and pay the tribute on behalf of the classmates.
Very good on the dais, but I tried to put my heart out for my dear friend Atul Ram Jha. He was one of the smartest boy in our section, always smiling and ready to help others. His personality was such we could never forget till we are alive. He was from a very reputed Gujarati family of Dr. Jha, who used to live at Chowk, and every morning he used to go to Company Bagh for walking. He was supposed to be the fittest, along with Rajiv Bhadoria whenever he was visiting Allahabad, and Tina Bhabhi was also there to accompany him. But as we all know, I don't know what happened to him. Gradually he lost his muscles and finally he died. But when I visited last along with my wife, he was on the bedside. He was unable to get up, but he was smiling. I was unable to stop my tears, but he was smiling. I will never forget till the day when I thank you.
In the same line, we have our dear friend, Mr. Abhyuday Gupta, whose tribute will be read by one of his very dear friend, Rajiv Bhadoria.
Well, I wouldn't say that he was just my best friend, he was a friend of many of us, in fact. And the moment his name comes, he still lives in my heart, in fact, and so I never say that he's gone. I converse with them regularly. What I liked most about him was that most unexpected things happen with people who are really thinking beyond their times. He did too much of it, in fact, in too short a time that he lived. He was a great philosopher. And he was always dreaming and was daydreaming, it was told. People said that, generally as philosophers are, but we didn't know that he spent out the meaning of life in such brevity. And he would always say that brevity is the soul of it. I don't say things too long a sentence. Few words that he said still kind of, live very closely in my heart. And I keep remembering him. Because he said that, you should leave a legacy. And you know what he did? His son, his only son, he's currently he did his engineering from IIT BHU, and then he did his MBA from one of the IIMs. And now what he's doing, he's started up a real startup in a sense for old age people, in fact. And it's one of the best in the world. It has already more than, I think, he's built up houselets, in fact, for old people. And the name he has given is after his father. And it's such a proud moment for all of us that yes, he's relived Abhyuday in 2 terms, in fact. What he couldn't have done, possibly he did it better. So thank you very much. I think I can go on and on for him, but Abhyuday, in fact, is one who should have gone actually, but I think God calls those whom he finds too dear. So he is more dear, I think, to God, and let him rest in peace there. Thank you.
A gentleman, and I must say that the party shuru jab ye aata hai. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I call upon Ashok P. Rai to speak for his very dear friend, Subodh Mukherjee.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. I have seen good speeches, those who have gone, all my respect for them. This is something which is not in our hands. Whatever God desires, we have to fulfill. We are making it too serious. I'll make it little light if you all don't mind.
Yeah, Gopala would have loved it.
Yeah? If you don't mind, let me narrate few instances rather than giving a speech on this. Okay? 1 or 2 of them. Okay? This is about, say, 78, 80. One of our first friends, Anjan Mazumdar, Mamu, got a job of 426 rupees in Bareilly. Cutting the story short, me and Gopala decided one day, let's go. I said, पैसे हैं? अबे पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे? फिर कैसे चलेंगे? अबे WT चलेंगे? So the whole journey we traveled, लखनऊ में ट्रेन चेंज करके, टीटी को देखते थे उस डिब्बे में तो हम दूसरे डिब्बे में जाते थे, वो वहाँ आता था, कूद के हम दूसरे में चले जाते थे. किसी ने टिकट नहीं मांगा, हम लोग पहुँच गए, हमने कहा लौटेंगे कैसे? कहता अबे मामू कमा रहा है, लेंगे पैसे। इट वॉज एंड ऑफ हिज दिस थिंग। तो मंथ पहुंच गए, उसके यहाँ खाए पिए, उसको बेचारे को 426 रुपये मिल रहे हैं। बोला कि यार मामू पैसे दे दो यार 10 रुपये। कहे पागल हो क्या, मेरा घर का किराया नहीं गया, तुमको 10 रुपये चाहिए? सो पैसे नहीं मिले। नाउ द स्टोरी स्टार्ट्स। वेल कमिंग बैक विद द सेम मोडालिटी, हम लोग लखनऊ में उतरे। कहते यार भूख लग रही है। तो हमने कहा पैसे तो नहीं, पकड़ कभी नहीं गए। तो उस टाइम यही कहा था गोपला ने, यार अशोक आई वांट टू सी यू एज अ रेलवे मिनिस्टर। तो मंत्री तो नहीं बन पाया, अभी ओथ लेंगे 3 दिन बाद, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट इशू। बट आई डिड असिस्ट द रेलवे मिनिस्टर फॉर अ कपल ऑफ इयर्स। एनीवे हम लोग उतरे लखनऊ, तो वो भोजनालय पहले होता था, घुस गए अंदर। गोपला कहते हैं इसको टारगेट करें, सब फैमिली वाले हैं। एक अंकल बैठे हुए थे जो मलारिया की तरह खा रहे थे, ब्रेड पकौड़ा चाय पी रहे थे, अकेले थे। गोपला गया, पहले हम थोड़ा हेजिटेंट थे तो पीछे से गया, अंकल जी नमस्ते। क्या नमस्ते बेटा, पहचाना नहीं? अरे अंकल जी आप पहचाने नहीं, हम लोग वहीं इलाहाबाद के हैं। अच्छा अच्छा बेटा बैठो। जब तक अंकल जी बोलते, गोपला ने हमको बुलाया, कहा ये वेटर सुनो, 2 चाय और बढ़िया 2 ब्रेड पकौड़ा लिया। और अंकल जी कह रही तो ऑर्डर कर दिया, हम लेके हम लोग खा गए ब्रेड पकौड़ा। फिर कहता अंकल सिगरेट है क्या? कहते हाँ है। कहते 2 दे दीजिए। क्या बेटा पापा है क्या? हाँ पापा बाहर वेट कर रहे हैं, उनको दिए क्या आता हो। गया अपना स्मोक करके वापस आ गया। अब अंकल जी अपनी कोई स्टोरी सुना रहे थे। इलाहाबाद में एक जेपी कुछे साहब हैं, उनके वो रिश्तेदार निकल गए। जब वो अपनी स्टोरी सुना रहे थे, मैं बड़ा ध्यान से सुन रहा था। अंकल जी को कैसे छोड़े, बेचारे का ब्रेड पकौड़ा और चाय का एहसान है, तो आई कुडंट हैव लेफ्ट हिम। गोपला आया, कहते चलो बे, अंकल कुछ बोल रहे हैं। कहते अंकल 2 ब्रेड पकौड़ा और 2 चाय पिला के इतना लंबा चाटोगे? ऑन हिज फेस we came back. That was one. The other incident was कि एक हम लोग चाय की दुकान पे, जिसको हम लोगों ने डिस्को नाम दिया था, उस टाइम नया नया डिस्को चला था, बिल्कुल किनारे दुकान है। some of my friends must have come also, 12 मिलिया में। हाँ पुलिया के हुए। अचानक एक आवाज आई, गोपला को मारने आए, गोपला को मारने आए। हम लोग सब घर से निकले, गोपला को मारने। तो देखा कि हाँ वाकई मारने आए थे। तो जब बेचारे भागे, बारिश का टाइम था, तो वो तो अपना भाग गए, साइकिल छोड़ दिया। तो साइकिल फिर गोपला जब तक हम लोग पहुंचे दिल्ली के, रिट्रीव करके लौट रहा था। हमने कहा क्या हुआ बे? कहते कट्टा निकाला था इतना बड़ा। हमने कहा फिर? कहते साले ने फायर किया। हमने कहा फिर? कहते हम डक कर गए, कुछ नहीं हुआ, साले को चलाना नहीं आता था, भाग गए। जब सुने थे लोग, हमने कहा अच्छा। हमने कहा चलो पकड़े मारते हैं। कहते कुछ नहीं मारते। मैं चलो पुलिस में। कोई पुलिस पर नहीं जाना। अब ये नई साइकिल है 700 रुपए की, बेचो, उधारी चुकता करो 400 का, 300 आगे का रखो, ठीक है।
एक चीज और बोलना चाहेंगे। सेंट जोसेफ में आप लोगों को याद होगा, फादर इजीडोर फर्नांडिस वाइस प्रिंसिपल थे। जब अपने लोग थे फादर पटराव के बाद, हाँ, तो पहले इंक पेन चलती थी, जिसमें इंक छिड़की जाती थी। तो जो एप्रिन चोगा रहता था, उस पर अगर पीछे से कुछ डाला जाए तो अंदर पता नहीं चलेगा। तो पूरा चोगा फादर इजीडोर फर्नांडिस उसने पीछे से फील्ड में रख दिया था।
So that was Gopla, and guess for every party, an occasion like this, he would put you all on a split of laughter. हंसते हंसते आपका कुछ सही कुछ गलत, आपका पेट दर्द कर जाएगा। थोड़ी सी मैंने उस चीज को एक्वायर किया है, और लेडीज के साथ तो इम्प्लीमेंट कर ही देता हूँ, और किसी के साथ करूँ चाहे ना करूँ। So with this I pay my tribute to my life of light. मैं बोलना जो चाहता हूँ वो ऑलरेडी कॉफी टेबल बुक में आई हैव गिवन माय दिस थिंग। सो हिज लाइफ व्हिच he's lived well, and I am grateful to God to give me those 45 minutes alone with him before he departed. Thank you.
गोखला पे 2 सेंटेंस मैं कहता हूँ। I was sitting with the Lieutenant General Anup Singhal in Army headquarters. So recently, just about 5-6 months back or 1 year back, I don't remember exactly. So बहुत बातें होती रही, वो भी आर्टिस्ट के हैं और गोखला भी आर्टी के थे। तो बातचीत होते होते उन्होंने बोला मैं एक ऑफिसर से बहुत सीखा हूँ. मैंने बोला कौन? Colonel Subodhay Mukherjee. Whatever I have learned from him in Siachen and other places, because of Gopla. If he would have been here, he was nominated for the higher courses and he would have commanded the RT long time back. But he left as a colonel. मैं बोला let me have a talk with you with Gopla. तो गोपला को फोन लगाया, he was in hospital in the last days. Bhavna ने बोला he could not talk at the moment. Then during the cremation I had gone to Gopla's place. I said, sir, would you like to see the... उन्होंने मुझे WhatsApp भेजा, if you are going to Gopla's cremation, please get me a video on your WhatsApp. Let me pay my last regard to him. I am not able to come. And this gentleman, General Anup Singhal, will be commanding the RT on 31st March. He still pays the tribute. There are so many officers I know who are paying tribute to Gopla like anything. We have lost one of the best human beings and best soldier, and really knowing what is to be done at the border. Thank you.
Thank you, Atish. May we have Rajiv Bhadoria on stage?
That's true, truly being giving a tribute to Gopla. Because of his jovial self, I think there are very few people on earth who have lived so far and will be coming in future will be as jovial as he was. And to add to what Ashok said, probably one of the things he missed out in later part of the life, I was very close to him because we worked together in Reliance. And just you won't believe that a person with so much of confidence and so much of confidence for friendship. We haven't met, in fact, I hadn't met him, I think, maybe for the last 30-35 years after we left school. And there comes Gopla, after he had taken his voluntary retirement. He's done his MBA from England. And he just came, he was looking for a job. And so, I think Ashok only sent him. Ashok had called me up, said that we need to help him out. And he needs to be given a job somehow or the other. So I was knowing that he's about to come. But naturally, both Ashok and I had agreed that we will not kind of, let him know that I have known it before. So I had prepared something for him. So there I was, in fact, in Reliance, and I was on one of my offices. So there comes Gopla. In fact, from the very beginning, he didn't inform me. So he said, you should not know. But it was very difficult for him to come into my office and for me not to know. But he at every step said that, see, I am an old friend of his, and from the security and everywhere, including my secretary. And he just walked into my room, saying that you don't have to tell him I'm going to give him a surprise. So there he comes, and I could recognize him. I got up immediately and I said, "Arey Gopla, tum? कहते दूर रहो." अरे मैंने कहा मतलब क्या है तुम्हारा दूर रहो का क्या मतलब है? क्या दूर रहो? बैठो, हम कहे बैठो तो तुम क्या बैठेंगे नहीं? नौकरी दो, पहले नौकरी दो. Imagine a boy, a friend who had left me in school, and I think that was the last of him I saw in school. And except that I would hear from Ashok, because Ashok and I were, and Sanjeev, Gautam. In fact, so we were very together, so talking to him about him in Mumbai. So he comes and he says, "Naukri do." And you won't believe, in fact, after of course, we had already planned for him some job in Delhi, and that was a very good job, in fact. That, because he had done his MBA, so I said, "ऐसे तो security वाले को difficult होता है, but army से तो, I think, he became the head of HR for the Delhi Metro, and you won't believe, once he got into that excellence that he has, he rose in the organization. Nobody knew that he's my friend, because you couldn't just make it out. And nobody in the Reliance at least knows that he was such a close friend of mine, because I was doing things on merit. But people would have misunderstood, so we didn't disclose that. And he did all of us so proud. He became the CEO of Reliance Metro and Mumbai Metro, and that was it. So that was Gopla. In fact, he was so cheerful, so full of conviction, but he was so, I would say, arbitrarily, given to humor. And he would just be very close and calm, but very intelligent from within. Life had taught him a lot of lessons, in fact. So this is where I say that academia teaches you less. What teaches you more is life lessons. And he was truly a life learner. And that's something that will always stay close to our heart. Thank you. I thought that was a good incident to be told, that how he made in the last 10 to 12 years that he was with me, and we were very close. And that's how we ended up suddenly. And like Ashok, I also got an opportunity just, of course, not 45 minutes before, but at least a day before, that he kind of, breathed his last. So I think I consider myself fortunate as well. Thank you.
This is regarding Tej. We were Parousis in Mumfordganj. He suddenly decided, or maybe he had always thought that he would be in UPSC. तो हम लोग तो जैसे थे वैसे थे, वो बेचारे बहुत पढ़ाई करते थे, हम लोग जाते थे, उनको डिस्टर्ब करते थे. But he was a studious guy like Rajiv. He cracked. He became a customs officer, and his first posting was in Calcutta. And I had joined IBP, and I went to Calcutta on training with Bamalodi and IBP. And then I came to know that Tej was there at Khidirpur docks. तो हमको बोले कि आ जाओ. तब वहाँ पता चला है कि वो संजय बनर्जी के साथ रहते हैं. संजय बनर्जी was with ICI. So we met there for some time. He was in Calcutta, then ये बॉम्बे आ गए. तो बॉम्बे इनसे मुलाकात होती रहती थी. And he was one chap I distinctly remember. उन्होंने एक गेट टुगेदर किया हम लोगों के लिए बॉम्बे में. हमने पूछा बॉम्बे कहाँ है, तो बोलते प्रीतम होटल. आपको होटल में क्या करना है, घर बैठे करना है, प्रिवेसी नहीं होती. अब 10 लोग एक बैंक्वेट हॉल हो लिए, जिसे कि हमारे सेंचुरीज के 10-12 लोग जाके खा ले पी ले दारू पी ले. दिस वाज लाइक टीके सावंत, द बेस्ट होस्ट आई हैव हैड इन बॉम्बे. हम बॉम्बे बहुत जाते थे. मैं होटल में जाके अगर चेक इन करूँगा और उनको फ़ोन करूँ तो वो कितने दिन हो, हमको 4 दिन. तो एक पेटी ब्लैक लेबल हमारे घर में देते थे. नोइंग वेल लाइक मी एंड गोपला वी वर ओल्ड वाला, बट ही सेंड ब्लैक लेबल देयर. जो करना है करो, हमको नहीं मालूम क्या करना है. He, Rajiv, is well aware of it. We organized a New Year party in Bombay, where I think Rajiv was there, Sunil Gupta, Sanjeev Gautam, Sanjay Malhotra, a lot of us booked a whole launch. The liquor was sponsored by the customs guys, including Tej, and Khana by the CHs. I'm very lucky that I could see Tej 1 month before he passed his last. And he was home, his father was there, and he said, खाने के लिए आ जाओ. And then he insisted, I can't drink because of my, but you, I said, "Yeah, come on. हम तुमसे मिलने आए ना, you must have something to eat, something to drink." 1 month later, when I came to Bombay, I found that he was no more. I just want to say, Tej के साथ बड़ी लंबी हमारा innings रही है. He's probably been one of the most helpful guys, because with customs, I had probably worked with the customs with IBP as a public sector for a long time, and public sectors are the worst when it comes to customs. Tej Kumar helped me out a lot in my career. Very grateful to him. I still miss him very much. Probably Rajiv has been as close to Tej as I have been. Maybe he can add to something on this.
I would like to. I used to be importing books when I joined my father. And all my shipments used to come to Calcutta port. And then started this brand all out. Because Calcutta was close to Korea and Japan from where we were importing our raw material, my first shipment of a solvent came to Calcutta port. I mean, for that there was some kind of a classification dispute. I'll just make it short. And normally, our people would go, the custom clearing agent was a very dear friend of ours, been doing business with my father for a very long time. He knew the kind of ethical standards my father had adopted. And there was a dispute raised that this classification is wrong. So the classification wrong means technically you're misdeclaring, and it's a criminal offense. So we would start, and when there was a note came, and under the note, I mean, first I could understand his handwriting. His handwriting was brilliant. Tej Kumar Saab, it has to be same guy. I mean, cannot be anyone else. So then, I traveled to Calcutta and with proper documentations and all. The moment he sees me, I mean, उसने सब कुछ छोड़ दिया. अरे यार तुम यहाँ कैसे? मैंने कहा यार देख भाई मैं एक प्रॉपर केस लेके आया हूँ और तू उसका असेसिंग ऑफिसर है. But I want one promise that you would do it on merit. Don't look at my friendship and cutting that short. I gave him all the right explanations. He agreed. He said my mistake. He went up to his officer and said, "Sir, this was my misinterpretation. This is the right declaration." So that was the story. And since then, he was there in Calcutta. Then he moved to Bombay. I was in touch with him, but it was a dear, dear friend. And his handwriting, it's still, it was classic.
Calligraphic.
Absolutely calligraphic.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to speak for Anurag Gupta, and we were a little jealous of him. And the reason was very simple, because the teachers loved him. He was a very humble, soft-spoken, very neatly dressed, disciplined, and a well-behaved child. I recall an incident when his good behavior and his ability to submit his homework and classwork in time made Mrs. Gandhi, our class teacher, speak volumes in his praise to a group of students, which had my presence also. We were in class 9B. After his final examination of ICSE board, we lost contact with him. Perhaps he went away to make his integrity seen to the world through his career as a fighter pilot in the Indian Air Force. Anurag was commissioned in Indian Air Force on 4th June 1982. He was the son of Mr. Yogendra Pal and Mrs. Sunita Gupta, and his wife's name is Mrs. Pratima Gupta. He was born on 6th August 1961 at Balia, and he had taken Lucknow as his hometown. One day he went flying in his Jaguar fighter plane and met with an accident on 12th January 1989 at 10:09 a.m. near Tambaram. He died on the spot, and that was the end to a short but a wonderful career. He was a handsome man and looked amazingly in his Air Force uniform. We fondly miss him. Thank you. Mayan Jyoti, to do the honors, I once again invite Mr. Rajiv Bazoria.
Well, Mayank, of course, died very young. He was a very good student and a very good player. And it's unfortunate that he maintained his health so well. He was a sprinter and a long runner, long distance runner. And unfortunately, he died of something that went wrong in lungs in him to begin with. But the spirit with which he lived, he knew that he was not survive long. And it was those moments, in fact, when we would break down and talking to him, he would always say that, no, I live forever. Don't bother, in fact. I may not be here physically, but I have lived my life enough. So I think I'll always be with you, and you just continue to love me as you love. So there's so many incidents that have happened regarding so much of help that he had provided to people all the time. The best that I have known so far was once in the classroom, our drawing teacher was very strict about bringing your own color pencils in a pencil box. So he had in fact those big pencils, those 12 of course, and I had forgotten to bring. And I was supposed to be the class monitor, so he knew that आज तो इनकी disgrace होने वाला है. He said that, I said, मैं क्या करे यार मेरे पास नहीं है. तो कहता है कि don't bother, I'll help you. हमने कहा क्या करोगे? पैसे तो है नहीं कि जाके ले आए वहाँ से. Those big pencil boxes are pretty expensive. You know what he did? He had those long ones, he broke them all into two and handed them over. So that was Mayank in fact. and his heart. And I think that magnanimity of it, in fact, continues to live and survives him long, long before he died. Thank you.
His home, but I don't know what happened. My car just switched over to his home, and the last time we sat at his home for Havan, he was a very, very good person. We were contemporary on sports, but outside the field, we were very good friends. And he was always laughing, as Rajiv said, "You will remember us." And he said, on that very Havan, last photograph they have taken, presently I don't have, I have asked his younger brother to give me. He said, whether I am here or not, but you will remember. And it is the fact.
Well, Mayank became my colleague also in the last few years. He joined as a professor of pharmacy in the institute where I was director of research there. And we had spent a lot of time during our lunch breaks talking about good old times. Our next deceased friend is Rakesh Khanna, and to speak about him is Mr. Sanjeev Bhargav. Mr. Sanjeev Bhargav, are you here?
Me and Rakesh Khanna were not only friends, but we share the same family tree. His great-grandfather and my great-grandfather were real brothers, and so the name which is now in the business family in Illawarad is Sadarlal Savaldas. So he was a descendant of Savaldas, I was a descendant of Sadarlal. So we both share a family tree as a background. And we used to play around because our places where we used to stay was very close. Me, Rakesh, Sanjay, Amit, perhaps Piyush also sometimes. We used to play in that Loknath area and we used to have a lot of cricket in the galleys of Loknath and in his house. And he was a very charming and handsome person, very soft spoken. He used to be with himself sometimes. Sorry? Yeah, he used to have because of his personality, he used to have a great cabaret dancer. And one day I also remember that while he was playing cricket, so he was a proponent of, I can say, a good swing, fast bowling. He had that kind of control with the red cherry. The only thing which I regret is that I was not able to come when he passed away, but I managed to visit his house when he was not there, soon after. And his passing away was very tragic because he and his father passed away the same day, within a span of few hours. In fact, he was waiting for his sister to come in from Muscat at that time. But somehow my cousins who were there along with him were not able to detect or not able to decipher what has happened to him. And he was rushed to the hospital and there was a cardiac arrest at that time. So he was a very gentle person and he has still the name of Savaldas Prem Kishore Khanna at Chowk. His shop is there, which is being managed by his wife Gargi. He is survived by his wife, of course, Gargi, and he has a daughter and a son. His daughter is perhaps married in Lucknow, and his son is here in Allahabad. So, I think Amit also can have, if he can share some few words for Rakesh Khanna, it would be great. And I would like to say one thing about Tej Kumar Samant as well. Samant, while in Calcutta, he was staying very close to us. We used to stay in Salt Lake. And I remember going to his daughter's birthday. She was hardly 1 or 2 years old at that time. So we had shared some moments of closeness with Tej Kumar Samant in Calcutta in 1991 or 92. Yes. Thanks, Rakesh. Rakesh will be there with us as a part of the family. He will always be there. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू प्रभात. मुझे एक ऐसी हिस्ट्री हुई थी जब प्रभात चले गए थे हम लोग से, और वो ये थी कि राकेश, सॉरी, प्रभात वाज द स्पीकर और वो ये बात थी कि एक ही दिन में सास और बहू विधवा हुई थी, एंड दिस इज समथिंग विच इज वेरी ट्रैजिक. एंड आई ऑल्सो रिमेंबर दैट इंसिडेंट. और वो आरती के पास बैठा हुआ था. ही फेल्ट अनईजी. He was rushed, but they brought him dead. Yeah. And please, if you want to speak.
Happening which we happened, Rakesh and myself used to attend marriages. When we two used to attend marriages, we used to start our dinner from the sweet side. First we used to have sweets, then we used to move toward the dinner side. I think we attended more than 5 to 10 marriages, and Rakesh and myself, we started from the sweet side. He was very close to me, he was very humble, soft spoken, but when his father died, I was there, he was calling to his sister. While calling, he had an attack and he died. Same day, 2 funerals were done. That was the worst part in my life. I have never seen such a soft-spoken guy and a very sentimental person. I never thought he's such a weak-hearted person because he was a very jovial guy. And when we used to have sweets, he used to point out, Samir, this is best. You first have this. I can never forget it, Rakesh. Thank you.
Baduria, for a very good friend, Purushottam Rajani.
That's right. I mean, he is like Mayank, in fact. Oh, I'm sorry. Like Mayank, he had a very big heart also. And all of us were just discussing about him yesterday. He was very close to us, particularly in Delhi. When he met me, in fact, in 2011 at Bimal's place. He got himself invited because he said that I'm coming there, Bimal, space, Rajiv, because you are coming there. So what a pleasant surprise I got. I met him after almost about 35 years. And from that 2011 till the time he died in 2021, he stayed very close, in fact. And every time he was in the agricultural ministry and he was in the subordinate services, unfortunately, but he rose his way up and he never let that thing show up on him because he was always ready to help people, in fact. He would just hear of something and he would start talking to doctors, to the extent that when I went to Kashmir recently, in fact, I was conducting a program on the students of Jammu and Kashmir with the help of the Lieutenant Governor. What he did that, I found before I ended up there, I had some apples and things like that put in my rooms. I said, who has put it? They said, there's a friend of yours he is sent from Delhi. Because he was in the agricultural ministry, he knew my program. And from before he kind of, asked somebody to meet me and do everything. So he was such a close friend that he would follow you much, in fact, ahead of you wherever you would go. And that is something which I always feel, that he died, he was of course not keeping well, he didn't want to die at that time. He says that I wish I could get over it. So I just met him and few days afterwards when he was admitted in the hospital, in fact Ashok and I went to his funeral and unfortunately that was such a misfortune for us both. Somehow or the other, I don't know what happened to him. There was so much of blood in his body coming out. The moment we touched it, it all oozed out. And I think Ashok and I were both drenched with that blood, not knowing what it is. And it's been dead for almost about 4 to 5 hours. God knows what happened. In fact, we thought that perhaps maybe he's alive. We asked the doctors and all, but that was too late, I think. And wish against wish, but he died ultimately. So I think Purushottam needs to be remembered like nobody's. I mean, as a friend who was always there for you, whether you knew it or not. He was always asking about you, what's happening, what happened. And then when you would go away, you'll get to know somebody called, and that was Purushottam Rajani. Thank you.
The man with the golden heart. That is what Purushottam Rajani was. I had a very close interaction with him after even when we passed out from SJC. I was in the ministry for some time in the railways, telecommunications, water resources, petroleum. And I could see Purushottam Rajani every time, almost every day, coming to me with some work or the other. Then one day I got irritated. मैं तुम पैसे ऐसे कमा रहे हो क्या बेस के अंदर? तो हंसने लगा, कहता तुम भी मेरे बारे में यही सोचते हो? The truth was, he used to help people who were in need, and he ensured his friends help them out so that he could be a better person for those people whom he helped. He never took money. He never took any favors. If he took favors for his friends, whether from SJC or otherwise. He was posted out. He was in agriculture. My boss was there, so he came. He said, "यार मेरी posting हो गई. हमने कल तुम्हारी secretary से बात करेंगे, तुम्हारी posting cancel कराएंगे." He was so indebted for that. He used to openly say, "One man who has helped me is Ashok in shaping my destiny as far as my career is concerned." So he was a great person. We miss him, and I wish all other friends who are here, we all can learn a lot from Gopala and from Purushottam. Thank you very much.
ये एक ऐसा शख्स है जो हम लोग को हर खुशी में याद करता था और हमारी बेबसी में वो सबसे पहले पहुंचता था. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about Shafaatullah. And I would like to invite Bajat Salman to speak for him on our behalf.
Good afternoon, friends. Losing a close friend leaves a hollow ache. The world feels dimmer, conversations stop mid-sentence, and shared laughter fades to painful memories, leaving an irreplaceable void where your confidence once stood. Making you realize how much of your life was intervened in ours or loss that reshapes our world forever. Our jokes, our secrets, our future plans, all gone, leaving behind this heavy, quimy, safe place. And now, just a memory I can't hold. The silence where your voice used to be is deafening. The world feels a little less bright without you. Yes, I am talking about Shafaatullah. You can see the smiling face behind me. A very, very gentle, a very friendly person with a big heart. I'll say that the last reunion, he insisted and he ensured that I don't go back to my home to even change. He said dress doesn't matter because friends are there. Ghar kya karne jaoge? So that was Shafaatullah. A little about his family. He was second amongst the 5 brothers. The eldest one, Rafat, also was a year senior to us. His father was late Hashmatullah. In fact, he was from the family of late Suleiman Sahab, his grandfather. He started the heavy automobile workshop in their original home in Hatia, which was in Bahadurganj. So, who set up the heavy, and then Bahadurganj at his residence, Hashmatullah Sahab set up, that is his father, he set up his own Hindustan Engineering Works on Hibbert Road, which most of you know, and where all his 5 sons, including our Shafaat, worked very hard. Shafaat was a very hard-working person. And just to tell about his father, the movie Road to Sangam, in which his father's role was played by none other than Paresh Rawal. So that was his family. He lost his youngest brother, who unfortunately committed suicide. And then I met Shafaat somewhere in class 6th, because before that you don't really have friendship. Everyone is just a classmate, you know. When you enter your teenage, then you start picking up friends whom you are very close to. So he came close to me in class 6th, and there we had gossips and that age, fantasy love stories. They were all just fantasy love stories. Everyone sharing their girlfriend's name and all that, just in class 6. So that was it. And he, in his later years, he developed a liking for cigarettes and coffee. And that went a little too far. He used to carry his coffee pot and, cigarette. And he used to smoke endlessly. उसको सभी लोग मना करते थे, all his friends. But he said, ठीक है यार, I am all fit. And he even convinced, I think, Rajiv and me and so many others कि मैं योगा करता हूँ, मुझे कुछ नहीं होगा. And he started doing yoga and all those things. But then, he developed heart problems, and about 10 years back, some stents were inserted, but still he was okay. However, the cardiac problems continued till one day he went to Delhi for a normal checkup. And apart from the heart problem, a new disease was detected. He had cancer, the last stage, in his pancreas. He came back and he lived 2 months in his house with his family. And about 15 days before he passed away, I went to his home. He was all normal, and he said कि बजट सबको जाना है यार, ऐसा क्या है? So that was a very emotional moment for him. Shafat, some people from Delhi and some from Allahabad, you all remember we attended his daughter's marriage. And few of you must be knowing that he had 2 daughters, not one. Because his eldest brother, Rafat, he had no issues. He gifted his other daughter to his elder brother. So, a man of such a big heart. My good friend, a great human being with a gem of a heart, was so excited and involved in the 2016 reunion. In 2016, neither he went, that's what I said also. Then I see, just to close my words about Shafat, I see and hear Shafat saying, कौन कहता है कि मौत आई तो मर जाऊंगा, मैं तो दरिया हूँ समुंदर में उतर जाऊंगा. So with that I close my tribute for Shafat and pray that may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
बढ़िया इंसिडेंसेस सेंजुलर को बताते हैं. मॉरल साइंस के ब्रदर्स वगैरह से लड़के डरते नहीं थे. तो मज़ेदार बात ये थी कि जब हम लोगों का मॉरल साइंस का एग्ज़ाम होता था तो इन्होंने अपनी डेस्क में से मॉरल साइंस की किताब निकाल के और उसमें से आंसर लिखने लगे. तो ब्रदर छीनने लगे, बोले अरे हमारी खरीदी किताब आप क्यों छीन रहे हैं, आपकी है क्या किताब?
डॉक्टर साहब ये अभी जिंदा है?
नहीं मगर हम बगल में बता
ये ट्रिब्यूट चल रहा था तो
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shafat that I remember was our school cricket team. He was the original Virender Sehwag or Krishnamachari Shrikant. Rahul Tandon will remember. And he used to go out to open. Our Allahabad League matches used to be 40 overs per match. And Shafat will be the guy, he will blaze a trail, 3-4 ओवर में 40-45 रन अराउंड. So he used to be told, Shafat, पहले आराम से खेलो, take the shine of the new ball. He'll say, अरे हमने मारा वो दीवार पे लग के जो है शाइन अपने आप उतर जाती है. That's the Shafat.
थैंक यू. कितना?
आप में से जो शफात भाई से फोन पे बात करते थे उसकी रिंग टोन थी, फिर मिलोगे कभी इस बात का वादा कर लो.
थैंक यू अमित. शफातुल्लाह के फादर और उनके वो बस हशमतुल्लाह वगैरह वगैरह इस नाम से जाते थे. और जब वो स्कूल में आते थे तो उनके पास 2 बड़ी बढ़िया गाड़ियां होती थी. एक शेवर्ले होती थी और एक शायद अच्छा मेरी. और उसमें से उतरते थे 10-12 उनके कजन्स इधर, और वो सारे लोग उसी गाड़ी से आते थे। तो हम लोग के दोस्त जो थे वो बड़े जरा सा बदमाश टाइप के थे, तो उन्होंने कहा बरकतुल्लाह बसकर अल्लाह। तो दैट वाज अ रिफ्लेक्शन दैट कि इतने ढेर से बच्चे जब उतरते थे उस कारों से, तो लोग ने उनका नाम रख दिया हशमतुल्लाह। हाँ बस शफात बहुत बेहतरीन इंसान थे। और अब our next speaker is Mr. Colonel Samir Man Singh, and he will speak for Srinivas. I remember him coming in a military truck, followed by my bus from St. Joseph's, from Agriculture Institute, and it's Samir.
Good afternoon, everyone. It was in class 6th or 8th that we got a new classmate, Srinivas Arbamudan, who joined us from St. Columbus, New Delhi. 6th. A soft-spoken, intelligent South Indian. Initially, he had a very rough time amongst us ruffians. Firstly, he came from Delhi, and that put us on the back foot. And then he was from St. Columbus, and knowingly or unknowingly he sported an attitude which automatically led us Allahabadis to pull his leg. And believe you me, these chances came very often. I remember one of these leg pulling incidents when he was asked to sing a song. While we all expected him to sing a Bollywood number, he sang the famous Calypso, Down the Way Where the Nights Are Gay and the sun shines daily on the mountaintops. I took a trip on a sailing ship, but I am sad to say I am on my way and I don't know. I won't be back for many a day. Harry Belafonte was his favorite, while most of us in those days had not heard of him. He was a fairly reserved boy, good in studies, but he kept mostly to himself. On his birthday, he invited a few of us to his house, which was at the one end of the town, Draupadi Ghat, and there we came to know that his father was a big shot in the defense forces. He was controller of the defense accounts, which deals with the pensions of the entire army. But it didn't matter to most of us. To cut a long story short, we didn't realize that amongst us was this shy and unassuming Srinivas, who would be the star whose light would shine the brightest. For higher studies, after ICSE, he left St. Joseph's, went to Loyola College, Madras, and then on to US for his masters. He got a double masters from Cornell and Purdue and did his PhD at Cornell University. He spent time doing research in Paris for his PhD thesis, and there he met the love of his life, Ranjana Khanna, who was also doing her research over there. They married. Though she was born and brought up in London, she belonged to a family in Lucknow. They have a son who is also settled with her in US right now. Later, both of them taught at the University of Utah and the University of Washington, and thereafter at the Duke University. Srinivas became the professor of English, the director of John Hopkins Humanities Institute, and the Dean of Humanities at Duke University. He was also the president of his scholarly society, the American Society for 18th Century Studies, and president of an international organization, the Consortium of Humanities Centers and Institute at Duke University. A very prolific writer, his books were authoritative references on the topics on which he wrote them. I would not bore you with the details of how many books he wrote, but most of his books were awarded prizes in the sections in which they were entered. He got the Outstanding First Book Prize for Modern English Association in 2000. Likewise, in many other books which he wrote, they were all awarded. The West looks at Indian and Eastern literature in a very prejudiced sort of a mind. Srinivas, while at Duke University, tried to change this outlook, and to a very large extent, he succeeded. But all this took a toll on him, and somewhere he put in too much of effort, and he passed away too soon. In his honor, Duke University and the Consortium of Humanities Centers each hold annual lectures in his name. The Venice International University has funded a Srinivas Aravamudam Graduate Fellowship in Graduate Studies. The American Society for 18th Century Studies has instituted the Srinivas Aravamudam Prize, which is given to the author of an article published in the previous year that pushes the boundaries, geographical and conceptual, of 18th century studies, especially by using a transnational, comparative or cosmopolitan approach. This was the citation given for him. As a mark of respect, Duke University flags were lowered when he breathed his last on April 13, 2016. Truly one of the brightest stars which our batch has produced. His wife, Professor Ranjana Khannam, is a professor at Duke University and President Emerita American Comparative Literature Association. Some time back, before he had passed away, I was in Delhi, and somebody had asked for some help for getting their children admitted in a good university in US. So somehow I got in touch with Srinivas, and I asked him, look, this is somebody who wants the child to be admitted. Can you help him? He went out of his way, got the child enrolled, and today the son is also is an assistant professor at Duke University. A brilliant chap. This is what I can